Hello, welcome back to some more Pokemon Black 2 for Randomized. This video is going to be a bit of a mess. Most of it's actually just going to be post commentary. I ended up getting horribly sick. My voice sounded like something caught in a garbage disposal. Still wanted to progress and beat the game, so post com it is. I went around the Pokemon League, grabbing a few items. Got a pretty decent TM and knockoff. Sadly, nobody can learn it and get damage out of it. But Garchomp can learn Liquidation in later gens, and we need Waterfall to proceed according to N. So I taught it to Cynthia. I decided to replace Crunch since the Ghost type and Psyche type users in the Elite Four probably won't have those types. And I also don't really get stabbed from Crunch. I don't with Waterfall either, but I'm hoping that my base 102 speed stat might actually net me a few flinches. The rest of the items weren't particularly useful though. Admittedly, the zoom lens is nice for my slow ass team, but a berry, smoke ball, and mushroom are actually just sellables to me. I've also been putting off talking to Mr. Metal throughout this entire playthrough, so I decided to talk to him, see how many medals he would give me. He actually gave me quite a few. Gave me medals for taking 20,000 steps, saving 40 times, healing at a Pokemon Center 10 times, evolving a Pokemon, using HM's Fly and Strength 20 times, finding 10 hidden items, giving a nickname 10 times, spending $10,000 at shops, obtaining one of N's Pokemon, obtaining a shiny, battling 400 times, using a move that has no effect, using a super effective move 100 times, encountering 10 Pokemon in Natural Phenomena, winning the Driftbell tournament, which is required for the game, and watching the Bryceman movie as well, which is also required for the game. Due to this game being played on an emulator, there's actually several medals that are impossible to obtain. Same is actually true for the actual game due to the closure of the Pokemon Global Link. Also because of this, you can't obtain Great Adventurer, Entertainment Master, and Top Medalist medals because you can't complete those categories. So there's only like 247 medals. That's still quite a few. They don't really serve a purpose other than displaying on your trainer card when you connect to others via Union Room or Passerby. Similarly to badges in Pokemon Champions, they're just fancy tokens of in-game achievements. While neat and usually worth collecting if you don't have anything else to do in the game, I'm not going to bother to hack them into the game just for medals. I was just curious to see how many I could obtain just by playing the game. It's also kind of lonely seeing her standing all by herself without Mr. Metal next to her. A little bit ominous. If I remember correctly, he shows up again like after you beat the Elite Four. I put up a repel. Because I also remember I also fought some of these trainers, by the way. This is my second time trying to record this part. Another issue with upgrading to Windows 11. Apparently, if you have a hard disk, it automatically turns itself off after like 20 minutes. And I record to a hard disk. Not exactly the best for quality, but yeah, I had to disable the power saving thing. So it crashed my first attempt trying to record. But yeah, I do remember that he shows up. There's like different challenges, I believe. Like one of the categories is challenges, and you can fight the Elite Four with like specific type challenges, and you get medals for each one. I think there's even one if you can beat the Elite Four and champion with just a single Pokemon. I was able to skip everybody, but then I fought this guy so he can actually heal. And then inside that cave, I fought both of these trainers. One of them against my will. This one. I walked in front of this guy because he never turns, and the second the battle ended, I was even ready to hold the button to move off to the side, and she decided that she wanted to turn before I'm even allowed to walk. Stupid game. Seems like there's a whole bunch of paths to take. Well, I'm glad you didn't see me and try to immediately fight me. Thank you. I appreciate it. Am I supposed to take the waterfall? There's an item. It is just a repel, but it is very useful. I'm gonna ignore that and check what's in here. Anything useful? I have absolutely no recollection of anything with this Victory Road, so I'm sorry if I'm wandering in circles. Interesting bridge. I think I walked over that one. There's a few bridges. Who are you? Probably have to go fight him. And her. Great. Actually, I think my lead is fine. I'll just fight them both. Hello. You bothered to come all the way here. I was told to. I'm sorry. I will reward your hard work by battling with all my strength. Big thanks. Can I exchange that for something else? Since you work so hard to get a tier, how about I be your opponent? He said it first, so hold off. Wait your turn. Actually, you guys were pretty damn strong. Actually swept through a lot of my team. Poor Cynthia didn't stand a chance. Everything seems to have either Aurora Beam, Ice Beam, Dragon Pulse. Bruh. Fortunately, I stocked up on a bunch of potions before I headed in here. Hello, item. Spike Cannon. Interesting move. Kinda crap though. Oh, it is 100 accuracy. Interesting. Hits 2 to 5 times in a row. It's better if you have like, well, loaded dice doesn't exist in this game. If you have a Pokemon that has Skill Link, I think only... It might be a hidden ability for Heracross. I can't remember. I think that's actually Moxie. I think that's Mega Heracross gets Skill Link. It might be exclusive to Cloyster in this game, which it learns Spike Cannon by level up anyway, so... But yeah, just a normal type move with a power that ranges from 20 to 100. The only upside to this is it's one of the few multi-strike moves that actually has an accuracy of 100. I don't think the other moves get that accuracy boost until Gen 6, I think. That was a ledge. Of course. You're no ordinary opponent. Hi, I'm special apparently, thank you. That is what my ghost type Pokemon is whispering to me. You need to seek help. Find a therapist. See if you can get yourself healed at a Pokemon Center with your Pokemon. There's another ledge. Okay, well, now I've just gone back here again. Guess I go back outside. What's down here? Just a person. Oh, there's an item. You're not gonna see me, are you? Okay, good. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, okay, I'm on this side now, but also, okay, I got interrupted. I don't have a repel up? Might as well use this one. What? Huh? Repel's effects still linger, but I was interrupted by a level 45 Gligar. What? I'm guessing that when that happens, because that's happened before, I'm guessing that the tile I step on just became like a phenomenon tile. I like the same exact frame that I stepped on it. Razor Fang. Speaking of Gligar, I could get a Gliscor if I wanted one. Okay, so I think I went down last time. What's up top? Oh, there are strength puzzles. Okay. Seems pretty straightforward. Except for the one on the left isn't reachable from here. Or can I walk past that? This 3D is weird. Yeah, okay, I didn't think so. There is a cave entrance there. Hi. Just vibing. Ah, okay. Didn't expect you to stop right there and turn. What is this? Okay, I can't see. Okay, good. I do still have flash. I was a little bit concerned that I wouldn't because all the TMs got changed over, but I think, yeah, because it's a field type move, I'm forced to still keep it. Unfortunately, because it's a TM now, I can just delete it later. I got rid of Fiery Dance temporarily. What is this cave? Is there anything special in here? Can't get to the item from that side. Another cave exit, but I want this item. I have reached the item. Dome Fossil, hello. Can't revive fossils yet. I think that's done in Nacrane Museum. And I haven't gotten to that part. I think that's in the post game. Okay then, so what's across the water? Definitely want to keep using repels. Just an item. Moo Moo Milk. Oh, I will never complain about one of those. Okay, so then what's outside? Hopefully I'm actually taking the correct path. Well, I see stairs. That's different than what I've seen before. I must be making progress. Also, Matcha Brace. If I remember correctly, that cuts your speed in half, or makes it so you always move last in whatever priority bracket you're moving in, but you get double the EVs. Is this the end? Hopefully. I can always come back and grab other items later. Seems like one more person I gotta face. Knowing my luck, I'm gonna accidentally run down and go off a ledge, so let me just progress forward just to make sure. Are you sure? I am very sure. I'm strong enough. I will destroy you. Yeah, you led a Porkle against my Garchomp. Not the smartest. Although I will admit, I did not expect your Scizor to have Aurora Beam like every other Pokemon in this game has Aurora Beam. The people who pass by here have such different moods. I am irritable. I had to fight another Aurora Beam. It's fun to watch and even more fun to fight against him. If you have Aurora Beam, I'm gonna smack you with a Garchomp. And I hope it hurts. I mean, it's not even the fact that every Pokemon has Aurora Beam. I'm pretty sure this thing actually can learn Aurora Beam, or worse. It didn't. It just went for Crabhammer. Unfortunately, though, Pingrowth does have Ice Beam, poor Virizion. Like I said, with this randomization, it really keeps you on your toes. You never know what you're going to come across. What is happening? Wait up! Who? Of course. I'll battle with you before you take on the Pokemon League. Of course you will. Why wouldn't you? Just like every rival in every Pokemon game ever. The more Pokemon battles you have, the stronger you get, right? Sure. Doesn't help you, really. You gonna lead your Skarmory? You gonna hold it in the back? Slowbro. See, the problem is everything's level 55, and I'm not quite that level yet. I mean, Cynthia is, but it's also holding Lucky Egg, so it's gonna obviously be highly overleveled. Everything else is low 50s. Moth of Flame's trying. Everything has Aurora Beam. This is Dragon Claw. We got hella defenses, but this is Stab. Hoping to at least do half. Okay. Please don't burn me. Okay, thanks. I saw that move coming from Oswald. Oh, obviously, it's Dragon Claw from a Garchomp. You really think you're special? I'm gonna switch. If you're gonna keep going for Scald, maybe I can set up for a Pinky Sweep. Hello? Yes, please. And I think I'll just spam Fiery Dance until my special attack is +6. Watch this thing have a grass type move. You watching? Because I'm watching. I'm waiting for it. That did interesting damage even for a crit. Fortunately, no grass type move yet. Is this enough to knock you out? Probably not. Not quite. I think that puts me at +5 now, so this would be +6. Max potion. Oh, okay, well, at least I'm going to be +6 here. I'll just go for a Mud Bomb next turn. Hell yeah, I still don't think it's going to be enough to knock it out. Guess we'll see. It is. Okay, good. And Skarmory. Can't remember if you have a grass type move or not. I just remember that you suck at everything you do. Of course you do. I do survive, though. This should be enough to take you out, except for Sturdy. You don't have Sturdy? Haha, my starter's better than your starter. Sea King. My HP, but also more water type moves that I'm immune to. Honestly, I think I'd rather take a free switch anyway. Mud Bomb it is. Horn Leech, of course. Everything has a grass type move, for God's sake. You deserve the Rocky Helmet damage. Stupid fish. Trying to Horn Leech me. I'll teach you. It's actually kind of fitting that you do have Horn Leech, considering, you know, you actually have a horn. Virizion really doesn't. Good damage. What? Okay. Unfortunately, you're going for a physical move that you don't get stabbed on, but is still times 4 super effective. Of course it is. Everything has coverage in this game. And Mr. Mime. Do I just take a free switch? I should be outspeeding, so I may even be able to survive depending on what you go for. And before Side Strike. I'm actually expecting Side Strike here. Zen Headbutt. Okay. I may even survive that. I do. Not well, but I do. I'll take any chip I can take. Icy Wind. That actually probably does knock me out, though. It doesn't, but my speed. Put everything on the line for this next move. Okay, well, I can switch to another Pokemon. You don't get that privilege. Also, I have Dark Pulse. For your 1 HP, Mr. Mime. Never mind, you just die here. Get wrecked. It's a little awkward when you try to go up against your rival and your rival doesn't even beat you. Their switches are the things that actually end up beating you. Imagine being that bad at the game. Wish I could have shown you my little sister's huge smile. Oh, that's right. They're supposed to be heartfelt. My bad. This is my thanks. Thank you in return, I think. I think you're really amazing. I don't really feel it now. So become the champion. Get the proof that you're a trainer that your Pokemon can be proud of. Am I not already? What the hell kind of backhanded compliment was that? Can't proceed here. Don't get anything by talking to the barriers. Okay. Is this the previous entrance and exit or whatever from Black and White? Now it's all caved in and blocked off now. So this should be the exit. Considering I just had to fight my rival. And the fancy camera angle. The Pokemon League. Can't remember. Is there an item over here somewhere? Nothing on the dowsing machine. Okay. It's the Pokemon Center, right? Hey. Heal me, please. Thank you. Also, I can check the mart if there's any new items. And top up on the healing potions that I had to use in stupid Victory Road. That place was annoying to get through. It usually is, but it's extra annoying when you don't remember how to get through it. I can get an Aerodactyl if I want one. I can also buy repels. Oh, gee, thank you. Such a rare item. Actually a rare item. You can actually get these. Used only in the Great Marsh, something that does not exist in this region or this game. And now we're back to the post commentary. Here's where I got sick and wanted to still progress, so I just hit record. The Pokemon League is a place where you both pursue strength and express it. That is why I'm here. The way to express it is simple. You just have to beat the Elite Four and the champion. That sounds doable. You can start your challenge by battling any of the Elite Four, and if you defeat them all, you can challenge the champion. However, I warn you, once you start your challenge, there's no turning back. You keep battling until you defeat them all or are defeated yourself. Do you want to go in? I do, but I think it's better if I save first, just in case something happens in the first battle. And as it turns out, I didn't actually need to save now. I could actually just tell him that I'm ready to go in, because he doesn't actually just force you inside. He just steps out of the way. Do you want to go in? I say yes. Then proceed. Okay. Thanks. I could save now, but whatever. Fancy room. Words are engraved on the statue. It basically tells us which type user is in which room, but well, this is a randomizer, so they're not going to have the same types that they're supposed to. etc, etc, beat them all, and then you can go to the summit where the strongest champion awaits. I am just gonna go in clockwise fashion. Just first room that I come to, might as well. Dark spooky room. Oh, my apologies. A dark, dimly lit spooky room. And ominously placed books that are more scared than she is. And they block our exit, so we're now trapped up here. There is one man who wanders the world with a black dragon Pokemon to pursue ideals. I may have heard of that person. Part of a novel that she's writing. A lot of these characters are going to talk about basically how they've progressed in the last couple of years. Kind of reminiscing a little bit about the previous challenger and us, I guess. She's supposed to have ghost types. I don't really know what to expect, so I'm just going to lead a fast Pokemon that deals a lot of damage. And she's going to do the same. The thing is, my team is extremely underleveled, so I mean, my frail fast Pokemon isn't as fast as I want it to be, doesn't hit as hard as I want it to, and is a lot more frail than I mean it to be. But I mean, at the very least, it's a free switch if they knock me out. And I'm going for Skull Bash, which, I mean, it's good that I didn't go for Side Strike to target your defenses. But that's almost guaranteed to knock me out because that does a lot of damage and it's stab. And Fiery Dance does absolutely nothing. First impressions are everything. Well, I hope you were impressed by my no damage Pokemon. Switch into Candelabra since you want to go for a normal type move. Doesn't touch me. I mean, I'm just gonna keep trying to go for Fiery Dance. You go for Flame Wheel, which I do resist. So at the very least, I can start setting up on you. And Fiery Dance is stab too, so that's a little bit more damage. Unfortunately, though, you do survive, and I proc a berry. So now you have a special defense. So even though I'm setting up, so is the Persian. And you're also low enough health that, well, yeah. Full restore with extra special defense. That's fantastic. Fortunately, though, I am still setting up, so... And you also didn't damage me this turn, which also helps. But yeah, I'm not dealing any damage, even with... I guess that was only +1, now I'm +2, but it's still 0 damage. I think the Starkberry sharply raises a stat, and I think it's a random stat, if I remember correctly. So now it's like I'm neutral again. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to knock it out yet, and all those flame charges or flame wheels, what is it? Those are starting to add up. And of course, a crit, which really adds up. So even though I'm +3, I'm not really going to be able to get too much use out of it because I only have 63 HP, but I do get +3 to my speed. I guess knocking out that Persian gave me just enough EVs to get extra speed, so that's kind of nice. 99 speed. And Habanero also gets a level up. 168 special attack is actually pretty decent. But yeah, unfortunately, it's just not fast enough to really deal any damage to actually get to use that high special attack stat. And she sends in a Blastoise. I would like to deal damage to this thing with a +3 Candelabra. The thing is, naturally, if I was max speed or something, then I could actually outspeed Blastoise, but I am not. This is my in-game Pokemon. She will actually most likely be max speed, max special attack, so I have to switch here. You go into Virizion. I didn't know if you were going to go for like a random ground move or water move or whatever. You went for Brine, so I guess I could have switched into Pinky, but you probably have some secret grass type move. Form Nature's going to be enough damage, I think. But of course you have a Rindo Berry. It would have been pretty good damage. And I had to waste my crit on the berry. And you should go for Aqua Ring, so I'm actually not that concerned about this Blastoise because you already went for a setup move and water move. I'm not worried. I feel like I can start setting up now. But of course, you have to go for the Electro Web, so now I have no speed. Don't get me wrong, Blastoise is kind of slow, but unfortunately, Virizion is fairly slow as well. Again, I don't really have any investment, so cutting my speed is actually pretty detrimental. But I get all my health back, all 20 HP that I lost. And Electrovire. So this thing has coverage. And I really don't know what to expect out of this game. But I feel like it's gonna probably go for a strong fire type move or electric move. That's just what I know Electrovire to do normally. Sure enough, strong fire type move, full health eruption. I don't think that I survived this. But I do at 27, Virizion the GOAT. Okay, I lied. That was a noble knockout, but it still survived a full health eruption. That's pretty impressive, right? And if you go for it again, it's not going to deal as much damage. Ice Beam! Coverage! Everything has Ice Beam. Everything has Dragon Pulse. Everything has coverage for everything. Every Pokemon has a grass type move. And Eruption again. Not entirely sure if I can survive this. I still do at 39. At least I get some HP back. That's neat, I guess. I'm not going to survive whatever comes in next because I have no speed anymore, but that was a knockout I wasn't expecting to get, and I will take that 7,000. Thank you. And it's Raichu. Of course it is. Well, I got to heal up because I definitely get outsped by you. Unfortunately, healing actually was not the smartest idea because you go for Ice Burn. I could have attacked and got damage in. I don't survive Ice Burn, ain't no way. Switch into Mock the Flame. I'm able to take that fairly well. The thing is, I am outsped by Raichu if it's max speed, so I don't really want to go for Eruption. But I feel like it's also going to be my highest damage output. And if it ends up surviving and goes for a lot of damage, then that's not good. That's not good. And the Lancet Berry. I'm not entirely sure if she has, like, any healing items. She outspeeds me and she's now +1 with a crit boost. I don't survive if she lands, but she doesn't. I got 10% lucky in this game. But Raichu goes down and so does Chantal. Or, sorry, Daniel. You ever feel at a loss for words when something greatly moves you? To tell the truth, I'm a writer, but right now I'm having trouble putting my feelings into words. You were just that impressive. Shut up, baby, I know it. Hey, 6900, nice. My Pokemon and the Challenger's Pokemon. Yes, this game is all about Pokemon. I'm so glad that you were paying attention to what's been happening. Can I leave through here? No? Damn. Okay. Out of the spooky room and into the death chamber. Jesus Christ, okay. Well, I was glad that you waited until I was out of there before you did that, thanks. This guy originated in this game, but he's got a little bit more, I guess, use. A little more appearance, I guess, in later generations. Grimsley, dark type user normally. Marcellus, like every other character in this game. Again, I'm just leading my Alakazam up front just because it's, well, if it's frail enough to just die, then that's perfectly fine. You lead Pachirisu. That's low-key a threat. I'm gonna switch. If you're gonna go for an electric type move, I won't take any damage. You have Iron Head, of course you do. Okay, well, if you're faster than me, then I'm gonna probably be flinch spam to death, but I'm gonna dig anyway. Okay, I'm actually faster. I actually would have thought that Pachirisu would outspeed me if it is max speed. The thing is, with these fights, I have to assume every item. I have to assume every spread because that's how the randomizer changes the teams around for strong trainers. I checked the log file that it printed out. Well, the first time. I forgot that I had actually redone this. And yeah, it shows all of the EV spreads that it gives to the various trainers. And a lot of them were changed to be max to everything, so that I have to be cautious here. And this one's probably max defense, or at least big pecs. He goes for Draco Meteor, which is super effective, but Mandibuzz doesn't really have any physical presence or any offensive presence, really. Shell Bell is annoying, but why does everybody just question why I'm using Dragon Claw on a Garchomp? Do they not know what Garchomp does? You know what? Just because you brought that up, I'm not gonna go for Dragon Claw. Your Pachirisu was going for a bunch of Iron Heads. I'm gonna try to go for some flinches of my own. Okay, I did no damage, and you also land Iron Tail and don't get flinched. Okay, well, I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm gonna go back to Dragon Claw because I actually did some damage. Don't question it. I actually need to heal first because I don't want to just die to another Iron Tail that you're gonna magically connect. Or a Draco Meteor if it crits or something. That too. Brother. Okay. Yeah. That is Pokemon. That is this game. Healing again. Please don't crit me, thank you. Let me actually enjoy my health. There you go, missing Iron Tail. That I'll take that, thank you. I don't actually want to go back to the bag. I just assumed that you're gonna connect something and try to knock me out. Dragon Claw, please. If I can get a crit, that'd be nice. You survive, of course you do. And you're low health, so yeah, there's a full restore. Okay, this Mandibuzz is actually kind of annoying. This Dragon Claw is only dealing like, what, 40, 45? Oh, okay, crit for crit. I will take that. Dragon Claw, get rid of this thing. I'm sick of looking at its stupid bone. Don't take that out of context. And Frostlass. Okay, I am getting the hell out of here. Goodbye. If you're gonna go for an ice type move, maybe, hopefully. Sandstorm. I think I actually could have stayed in. I don't have rough skin. I'm pretty sure Sandville is the other ability for Garchomp. Nothing's taking damage from touching me anyway, so I assume that you have its other ability, which I'm pretty sure is Sandville. In fact, I even go into the Pokemon menu to double check because I feel like switching might not have been exactly the greatest. And I verified, yeah, sure enough, it is Sandville on my Garchomp, so I could have just stayed in, dealt some damage. Oh well. The problem though is that I am outsped by Frostlass most likely, and it probably has a ghost type move. Or it has Side Strike. To be fair, I don't have any physical defense, so it's kind of a decent move for it to go for. But Fiery Dance is damage and stab from a Chandelure. It's not a knockout, but I'll take it. In fact, it's kind of BM, but with that low HP, you're the one that set up the Sandstorm to begin with. I'm just gonna switch out. Oh, a Custap Berry. That's actually kind of evil. I'm not even mad. Send in the Habanero. You're gonna go for a Side Strike. I do at least resist it, even though I have no physical defense on this Pokemon either. I don't resist it well. But you do die. Goodbye. Also, chip on habanero. Chips and habanero. Rotom. Rotom heat. Beautiful loss is still a loss, and an ugly win is still a win. That, okay, well, that just sounds like you're gonna go for any move necessary. Not entirely sure how that's gonna help you out here, but sure. Hey, do me a favor, go for an electric move. Hey, thanks. If you go for a fire type move, I resist that as well. I can't go for mud bomb because you do have levitate, but surf is still stab. You have aura sphere. Well, to be fair, that is neutral. Take a surf to the face. Yeah, okay. I'll never talk shit about Pinky's low special attack stat ever again. Unboosted, still did half health to a Rotom. Pokemon that are generally known for having a fair amount of bulk. I mean, to be fair, you do have to like specially invest for them to be bulky, but they do get to be pretty bulky. Defeated Marcellus. When there's a winner, there's also a loser. That is how games work, yes. Hey, 6,900. Next up is a very interesting room. Very sparkly. I get a bottle of flour. Or not. It is me who appeared when the flower opened up. You standing over there? Yes, that's me. Hello. You look like a Pokemon trainer with strength and kindness. What I look for in my opponent is superb strength. I'm counting on you. I'm gonna destroy you, and I will enjoy doing so. Isn't Marshall the next Elite Four? Does that mean I get a 2-for-1 if I knock you out? I am gonna enjoy this. You have Whimsicott. I mean, Whimsicott's sort of fairly fitting for her. Not in this generation, because you're not a fairy type. You know what? Let's go for Fiery Dent. And you have Night Days, and I'm dead. Okay, great. I mean, you really got to be prepared for anything that can happen, but Night Days from your Whimsicott is not exactly on my bingo card here. Okay. You're not a fairy type. You have probably grass type moves. You have Night Days. Please do go for that. I would love it. I'm just gonna go ahead and start setting up now. Yeah, do a few of those. I don't mind. Just as long as you don't have like Aeroblast or something, we're fine. You're also not a fairy type, so I'm gonna check and see how much Dual Chop actually does at +2. I'm just curious. Oh, okay. It does crap damage. Good to know. That's what happens when you have a low special attack and not stab. Let's just go ahead and knock you out with the Sacred Sword. Unfortunately, I'm down to 75 HP in the process. But I will take the almost 5,000. Level 52, and my attack stat is only 103. That is atrocious. And you send in Starmie. Really fast water and psychic type Pokemon. I don't survive, and I don't have a decent switch. I have to lose Virizion here for no reason. That's great. Because the thing is, with the heightened AI, it goes for super effective moves. Okay, I'll take a free knockout on Starmie then. I was gonna say, with a high heightened AI, they tend to more often predict when you switch, so they're more likely to change up the type of move that they go for. But Sky Attack also helps too. Not attacking for a turn. That's a Maractus. I don't even know what you do. I'm just gonna smack you with a sword. Eject button. Okay, I still don't know what you do. You don't do anything, apparently. Okay, well, so much for setting up. You don't have a flying type move, hopefully, right? Fire Fang maybe, or something. Bolt Strike. Not gonna lie, that actually would hurt. Let's just make sure I'm topped up on my health here. It does connect this time. Stab, 120 base attack, probably max invested. I resist the move and it drops me down to 54 and paralyzes me. Of course it does. What even is this game, bruh? I'm just gonna get out. Go for it again. Leech, like, sure. Why does that still do half my health? I hope that Rocky Helmet hurts. I'm gonna go for Mud Bomb. I should be able to survive another Leech Life if you go for that. I resist. Well, I don't resist Crunch. I was gonna say I resist Bolt Strike if you want to go for it. I'm immune to it. You take a little bit more chip, and Mud Bomb does connect. And thankfully, it's a knockout. Unfortunately, you do have a Maractus in the back, and I don't know what it goes for, but I don't want to find out with Pinky. Ooh, just got to level 50. Finally got my starter up to level 50. And actually, yeah, 111 special attack stat at level 50 is not unusable. For stab damage, it's actually pretty decent. But the problem is that after like a Storm Drain boost, I'm still like sub base 100 max invested, I think. It's not very good. For context, Virizion gets level up here, and yeah, 105 for a Virizion, which is supposed to be a legendary. That's kind of why I justified using it on the team. The special defense is really nice, but it has no physical anything. It really needs that sword stance. And back comes the Maractus. And, well, I'm using a Gastrodon, which is outsped by literally everything in the game. Except for Torkoal. I gotta switch. Go into Moth to Flame because I have Eruption. A little bit of overkill with a Choice Specs Volcarona, but you know what? It's kind of worth it. There's nothing in the back to switch to. She just dies here. And I defeat Elite Four Marshall. Unfortunately, though, I don't think that counts as a 2-for-1. You haven't faced all the Elite Four. Of course I haven't. Alright, so I guess now I get to go face the actual Marshall. Fancy little staircase. And half his arena is missing. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's how they can get away with it. You spell your name with 1 L, she spells hers with 2. Isn't that cheating, though? I'm the #1 pupil of my mentor, Alder. I'm so glad that the person that lost to the bad guy in the last games was your mentor, and you're bragging about that, but cool. Then he hawks a loogie at me, whatever Kiai means. Basically just the average Joe. Literally. Immediately sending in Tauros. Tauros does have speed. I think it's like base 100. It also has some fair HP. Doesn't have Intimidate, which I think is interesting. I don't think I'd be able to outspeed you, assuming that you're max invested. But I mean, if I do... If I get some damage... Yeah, okay, brother. V-Create. I was considering switching. I decided not to, and I regret it. Well, at least your speed dropped. And defenses. Okay, then. You're a normal type Pokemon, and I have a fairly fast fighting type Pokemon. Your speed just dropped, your defenses just dropped. This should be free. Or not. Quick Claw Tauros. I'm not even mad, but I'm also mad. Okay, I just want this thing to be gone now. Please. Let me delete this thing. Why does it proc twice? Okay, well, at least you're not moving this turn, brother. So I actually looked up later on the quick claw, because I was actually under the impression that quick claw was 10% in earlier gens, and then it got buffed in later gens to 20%. It's actually always been 20%, except the generation where it was introduced, Gen 2. It was actually a 23% because of the way the game's calculated the fractions back then. But yeah, 20% twice in a row is still pretty damn lucky for them. They have a Staraptor. It's a flying type. I have a bug on the field. I don't want to be here. I assume that you're going to go for a physical move, so I just switch in Rock Wrecker. Yeah, I was absolutely dead. Sadly, though, that does not make contact, so you don't take any chip damage. But you don't get to move next turn. So, like, I had considered switching, but at the same time, I don't think it's gonna do that much to me. So I just go for damage in general. I want as much damage as I can before I get knocked out. I just keep going for surfs, and well, yeah, okay. Everything has grass type coverage in this game. Why Giga Drain? Of all the moves that you could have had, I'm trying to just get damage on you. You just take all my health. I hate this game. I just ended my strongest attacker. Delete the bird, please. Extreme speed. Okay, that's actually kind of a good move for you. Fairly high attack and it stab. I don't let you outspeed me, which you probably already did anyway. Let's be real. At least Dragon Claw does some decent damage, but I'm taking a lot of damage in the process. This Staraptor is actually threatening. I'm just glad that you didn't have anything like Aurora Beam or anything. Rapidash. I don't want to get burned by anything. I'm going to switch into a fire type so I can't get burned. And you go for a drill run, so that was not the best switch. That was actually a death sentence. I survived at 15 though, impressively. Rapidash actually does have some pretty decent physical attack, but I guess it helps when the move isn't stab. I don't heal up Candelabra, I just let it go down. But I do make sure that my Garchomp is full health. Again, I'm just assuming that the Pokemon that I'm facing are going to be max invested in some way. A common thing to do for Rapidash would be probably like max speed. Sure enough, it outspeeds me. But at the same time, if you're putting all your EVs into speed and attack, I don't think that you're going to survive a stab and dig. Works for me. And Cynthia becomes my first Pokemon to level 60. That sounds weird out of context. +3 attack though. I will absolutely take that, thank you. I just wish that my special defense was a little bit better. I'm actually pretty sure that I'm mild in nature, so I'm plus special attack minus special defense. Also, 144 speed is really bad, actually. And noting that speed and seeing Lumineon, which can probably have some sort of ice coverage, I'm actually a little bit concerned. I actually don't think I'm going to be able to knock it out, funnily enough, in one hit. Because Lumineon actually has some fairly decent HP. Sure enough, it survives, and it misses Aqua Tail. I was actually scared for nothing. Okay, well, you just die here. And with that, that means that the Elite Four is beaten. Actually managed to do it on one try. I'm actually low-key kind of impressed that this team went this well against the Elite Four. Again, not knowing what I'm going to be facing is kind of sketch. But all four of them beating me does mean that the statue in the middle is all glowy and fancy now, so I can take it like an elevator. Very scuffed soundbite for that. Seems to just be magically floating. I decided to not just follow a straight path, and I decided to go directly where the statue is, because I was curious to see if the statue was actually centered, and this actually triggers my OCD so bad. Why is the statue so off-centered? Also, why did you take me all the way down here if you're just gonna make me climb these damn stairs? What? Brother. Why are there so many stairs? I hate this. Sitting in shadows. Welcome, challenger. Hello, Iris. Fancy meeting you here. God damn. Okay, little warning next time. Christ. We've been waiting for this. Okay, well, I'm blind now, thanks. You know what? I really look forward to having serious battles with strong trainers. I mean, come on. The trainers who make you hero, trainers who desire victory with every fiber of their being. And they're battling alongside Pokemon that have been through countless difficult battles. If I battle with people like that, not only will I get stronger, my Pokemon will too. And we'll get to know each other even better. Okay, brace yourself. I'm Iris, the Pokemon League champion, and I'm going to defeat you. I'm not gonna lie, her little speech before the battle goes really fucking hard. Her after battle speech is not quite as impressive because it just sounds like that she's imitating other champions, but she actually sounds pretty cool in this game. Absolutely glow up from the previous games. She leads Garchomp. Speaking of trying to be like other champions, she wants to be Cynthia so bad. It probably outspeeds me, and it has Power Whip of all moves, and of course it lands. I think it's like 85 accuracy. But that's one of the reasons why I lead a super frail Pokemon up front, is so I can just die if necessary. Gives me a free switch into Virizion. I go for Dual Chop while you set up a Sandstorm. I'm really hoping that you're not Rough Skin, but at the same time, I want to connect my move. It does, and still deals no damage. It's super effective. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's the weaker of the legendaries, but you are supposed to be a legendary. Eject button procs for Braviary, and I want to cry. I don't want to hear anything about the pain of your Pokemon. You just sent in a flying type against Virizion. I expect Aerial Ace, Brave Bird, something like that. Not Zen Headbutt, but at least it makes contact. Also, to be fair, it also still super effective. I go for Surf. You did have a flying type move. Okay. Don't know why you didn't go for it. Don't actually know if Zen Headbutt would have even knocked me out. Something I think is interesting. I went for Sky Attack. I thought that made contact. It doesn't take any chip from the Rocky Helmet, though. Like, Sky Attack has a whole bunch of extra side effects with it too. Like, not only is it a charging move, but its base 140 power has a chance to flinch and heightened chance to crit. Like, it's got all sorts of extra boosts with it and stuff, but it apparently also doesn't make contact. So maybe you're immune to Flame Body and Static and apparently Rocky Helmet. They have a Scizor. Scizzor's threatening because it's defensive, but it doesn't deal any damage. It does have Aurora Beam, like everything else in this game does. I'm pretty sure I came across a Scizor previously that also had Aurora Beam, but at the same time, Aurora Beam from a Scizor, not stab, and there's no special attack. It does half my health, but I do survive. And I don't think that you're gonna survive a second dig unless somehow there's a min-max roll. It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. But I got lucky with the crit, so it doesn't matter anyway. And another Rotom. This one, the grass form. I still can't dig because, you know, well, grass type can resist and also have levitate. Fly is, well, neutral. Dragon Claw's neutral, so it has more damage. The thing is, I don't know what to expect out of Rotoms. Of course. I, again, I don't know what to expect, but that's just not on my bingo card. It should be. It really should be. Everything seems to have coverage, but it... Out of all the moves, I would have expected like Ice Burn or something, because that's another move that everything seems to have. I sent in Moth to Flame, but I also didn't realize that I only had one eruption, and I'm also choice locked, so I kind of can't go for that. I don't know if Dark Pulse would actually knock you out. I'm hoping it does, but again, if you're invested in a specific way, you might survive that. And you actually survived. And of course you have Rock Wrecker. I'm not gonna lie, when this happened, I sat down my controller and I had to stand up and get like an inch away from my monitor because I could not see that little sliver of health. I thought I had knocked you out. Like I'm sitting here in disbelief. I'm like, you have health? How? What just happened? Yeah. It survived, didn't flinch, and happened to have Rock Wrecker. Okay then. Well, I have a Virizion. I'm just gonna start setting up now since you can't move. I was not expecting a full restore. I would have gone for a little bit more damage. Not gonna lie, I was just kind of BMing. Also kind of wanted a little bit of my health back, not that it really mattered too much. But here's the Sacred Sword. Unfortunately, it doesn't knock you out. And of course, you have Pluck. Brother, what is your moveset? Like, thankfully it's a physical move and not stab. But holy crap, like... I get that they're supposed to have better movesets, but come on. You happen to have every possible ×4 super effective coverage move. Miltank, okay. I have a fighting type move. Why do you have Air Cutter, brother? I really hope that this kills you. Good. Go back to GSCOU where you belong. And Garchomp again. Oh, you probably do outspeed me and will probably knock me out. Before I die, Body Slam, okay. I want to make sure that my other Pokemon are actually able to fight. Then my Candelabra. Not exactly the smartest because you might have a ground type move. But at the same time, I kind of just send it in as a sack so I can get other Pokemon to... You actually have Bone Rush. Okay. I was kind of hoping for something else and maybe a miss, but sure. Yeah, I want to get other Pokemon a little bit more healed up because everything's just getting murdered by ×4 super effective moves. I'm actually a little bit surprised that I outsped this Garchomp here. Because Garchomp at max speed is 169 and I'm only, what, 144? Even if it's max invested and adamant nature, I believe it's what, 154, 155? I'm still underspeeding it. But she sends in Bisharp, which I don't think is too much of a threat. The only problem is that my only super effective move is Dig, which gives you an extra turn, and if you try to set up or something, I'm actually a little bit worried. That's actually a little bit more worrying. I was expecting Swords Dance, but you actually have a better chance to survive this. Please at least do half. Okay, I'll take that. Wake Up Slap is a bit annoying, but doesn't really do anything to me. Not yet. We can find out. You actually won't be able to land another attack. But I appreciate the sentiment. How very champion-like of you to fight until the very end, even though it's kind of already over at this point. But yeah, with this, that means that the champion is beaten, and I have beaten the game. Not gonna lie, I'm very surprised that I was able to get this far with this team. Again, I was expecting to struggle through this multiple times. I'll take 11,000. It's not 6,900, but whatever. I'm upset I couldn't win. You know what? More than that, I'm happy. Happy I got to witness the rise of a brand new She wants to be Lance so bad. Yeah, I don't think that her little after battle speech is quite as impressive as her before battle speech. I mean, come on. By having a serious battle, you and your Pokemon, and me and my Pokemon, we all got to know one another better than before. Yep, we sure did. Okay, let's go. Yep, where are you going? Neat. A little bit extra, but okay. Go on ahead, hurry. I'm being forced into a hole against my will. This room is the Hall of Fame. Oh, okay, good. I thought it was going to be my tomb. Your name and your Pokemon's names will be recorded so these important things will never be forgotten. You are an excellent and kind trainer. That you are considerate towards your Pokemon and you give them your whole heart. That your wonderful Pokemon believe in the trainer with all their hearts, and together you have a strength that knows no bounds. Also, you have a very spammable A button. All these things together, never forget. Hey, come on. Oh, excuse me. Ace. Yes, I do have a name. To the trainer standing before me, and to the Pokemon at your side. Your beautiful bond has grown strong through battle. In order to make this bond an eternal treasure, your name shall be recorded here. Hey, shiny habanero. I really love the backgrounds that they do for these. They're so cool. Candelabra. And it goes for the bug type instead of the fire type. Whatever. Pinky, of course. I like the dragon one. Claw marks. And grass type Virizion. Absolutely goated. Speaking of goated, it even makes me all sparkly. It's a little bit messed up with the way I have my screens laid out because the top screen and bottom screen are supposed to, you know, be top and bottom and they're side to side. You know, also, I didn't know that the Pokemon actually cycle through if you hover on the screen for too long. You're supposed to have pushed A long before this, but yeah, it just cycles through your Pokemon in the order that they were in your party. I never knew that. It's actually kind of cool. And Volcarona. Okay, that's enough of that. Challenge mode. Never actually did anything with this. It basically just increases the levels and difficulty of the game. I think it also unlocks easy mode if you beat this or something. I'd never bother with those. I think you can send keys over to other versions as well. Again, I never bothered. Well, that's fancy. No, how kind of them to wait for me. What, do they give me a kiss on the cheek or something? What's happening? Oh my god, are they gonna follow me? Run away! That is Pokemon Black 2. A little bit different. Hey, I like that guy. He's the guy that designed Arceus. Yeah, this is a little bit different of a series, I guess. I didn't really play the game specifically. I kind of, changed it up a little bit. I still really love the story of the Gen 5 games. They're still so good. I really like the whole concept of basically rebooting the series. That was something that actually really... I kind of mentioned it a little bit in my Black series, where I was around when these games came out, and a lot of the view on Pokemon was, I don't want to play these games because my favorite Pokemon are going to be in there. I'm not interested, that kind of thing. I was kind of one of the exceptions. I was still disappointed that I was going to have to relearn everything, but I still, I still played the games with a very open heart and open mind and enjoyed the hell out of them. Even though I've only played Black 2 now twice, it's still one of my favorite games out of the entire series. Even though a lot of the more recent games that have come out are very close in terms of how good they are, I guess. Like Legends Arceus is probably my second favorite out of the entire series. Sword and Shield, even though it got a lot of flack, it's actually one of my favorite games. One of the few games that I've actually played more than 5 times all the way through. And hell, the game's only been out for 6 years, 7 years now. This game, I probably mentioned it before, I played differently, where when I played before, I sat down and actually invested time into the game. I was building Pokemon sets along with playing along through the story. I was trying to collect every item. I actually went through this stupid Poke Studios thing and went through a whole bunch of those and was not impressed at all. I tried to do everything. I tried to 100% the game. So I didn't get a chance to actually go through everything, because by the time I got, around to finally getting to the Pokemon League and getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, I had already put in I think 200, 300 hours into the game and had just barely gotten out of Victory Road. With all that spread over the course of, I want to say childhood, but I think I was just out of high school at the time. I was just learning, the work field, just getting a job, just getting out of high school, trying to, be an adult kind of thing. I didn't really have time to play too much of the post game. So even though this game's over, and even though there's a whole bunch more that can be done, I am going to be playing the post game, but I'm not going to be doing everything because I don't exactly know what's in the game. I'm going to try to go through all the things that I've been made aware of and things that I had attempted before, if that makes sense. But I'm not going to go out of my way to try to look up a walkthrough of every possible thing that's available. I mean, I'm sure that half of it doesn't even work because it probably has to connect to the internet. And so, wait, that is N. Hello. And it is Zekrom. But there is going to be more to the series. So even though this is, I guess, the end of the series, look for a post-game, I guess, series, mini-series. Kind of like I did with the other games that I played. But yeah, I don't really have too much else to say for the credits for this game. Other than I do really like the little scene that they have at the end of the credits. I think this is absolutely sweet. Because some of the other games have shown, the character returning home kind of thing, but having your mom wait for you is actually kind of adorable. Ten out of 10. The end. But wait, there's more. It's still spring. Started the game back up. Ended up back at home. Immediately trying to leave, and my mom tries to stop me. She tells me that she doesn't really recognize me anymore. Okay, but you just took me into your home, so I would hope that you recognize me somewhat. Also, she has psychic abilities, apparently. Hello, I am Maze. You actually don't look anything like Juniper, but hello, Juniper. The one who gave you your Pokedex is my daughter. This is Cedric Juniper. He doesn't actually introduce himself, but the game just says that he's Cedric. He upgrades our Pokedex to national mode. I already had that. This is actually kind of useless. Ask me more questions about this thing. No, okay, bye. He left. Okay, your psychic abilities are amazing, Mom. Then trying to leave home, we get stopped yet again. Hey, my sis has something that she wants to tell you. I didn't ask either, but okay, hi. My purloin, it evolved, but thank you for finding it. Yes, that's... I didn't actually... Also, these days, I've been having dreams about a Pokemon called Zoroark. It was calling your name. I don't really get it, but I hear that the Zoroark from our dreams is on Victory Road. Okay, how did you hear about that? You just happen to know that this is an actual thing? You don't just consider it a normal dream? Okay, sure. Also, congrats on being a champion. I called it. You have instinct. I don't like this rival. The only thing I don't like... There's a couple things I don't like about this game, but the thing I can't stand about this game is the rival in this game. I just think that he's more annoying than useful or antagonistic. But other than that, that is going to be it for this video. Kind of a longer one, but I had quite a bit that I had to get done. Also, it took me a bit to get this one out. I do apologize. There's been so many delays with the series too. It's been such a scuffed series from the beginning, but I am getting through it. There's only a couple videos left at least. But if you guys are enjoying the series, feel free to drop a like or even a dislike. I promise it doesn't hurt my feelings at all. If you want to catch some more of these, hit the subscribe button. There's a few more of them. I'm sure you don't want to miss them. Also, if you want to catch the next series coming out, hit the subscribe. But until next time, I'm going to go explore the Unova region all over again. See what there is that's available, because there's a few spots that have opened up, and there's more to the Unova region that we haven't gone to yet. But until then, take care.